Hi, my name is Zian, Vaverka, and I did how trees affect a person's well-being, and I did a fundraiser to fund for the trees at the school. And some little things about me. My family, I have Jason and Misty Vaverka as my parents, and activities and hobbies, I like to work, and then I also like to play video games. Future plans are attending the workforce, going in the workforce. Topic of choice, why I chose my topic, I never knew anything about planting trees until now. So, and how it was a learning stretch for me, I never knew how to do it, I guess. Components of the senior project research paper in the fall. I did my research paper in the fall, fieldwork and final product November through May, and then I did my binder through the whole year, and then presentations in May. Research paper, how trees affect a person's well-being. My thesis statement is, trees provide numerous health benefits, including improved air quality, enhanced mental well-being, and increased physical activity, making them essential to environments aimed at fostering wealthier communities. And interesting information that I learned is that the hole's got to be wide enough in order for you to put the tree in there.
There you go.
And then my mentor was Dare Evans, and some qualifications that he had was he worked in landscaping and worked with different behavior programs, and then he has been teaching students over about 9 years now. So those are some qualifications about him. So field work, I went the west side of the playground, and I planted them out in that plain field. When I went earlier this week. I went Monday, I think, and then I only went for about 4 or 5 hours because it only took me so long to plant the trees, I guess. But the research paper and everything added up to hours, and then my hours would be where I needed them to be. What I did there, I started by digging the holes. They had to be at least twice as big as the bucket of the trees. And then I put the tree inside the hole, so that so I could make sure that it was deep enough and level to the top of the root of the tree. And then I filled it back in, and I started by putting protectors around the tree, and then I staked the trees down to give it a little protection. I haven't got out there to water them yet, but I will be like probably tomorrow, before this weekend. I went to a school board meeting to get permission on planting the trees, and I organized a bake sale to buy trees to plant at the school. And this is a flyer that I created for my bake sale at the gym during a boys basketball game. And that was the 17th of, I can't remember what month it was, January. And it was 5 o'clock to 8 p.m. Some pictures of me at the bake sale setting it up. I set it up during 8th period study hall because I had time to do it. So, and then here's a picture of the whole bake sale alone. And then I made a free will box and a poster as well. And here's a picture where I have price tags on some of them because it took a while for them to make and people worked hard on them. So, and then there's the poster I made again, just up close. This is a side with just free will donation. And then I chose American hornbeams. for my trees, and this is what they will look like at the end. And that's like 20 to 30 feet tall. And then they grow leaves like that, I guess. Why I chose the American hornbeam. It was a great tree for our zone because the tree could handle both warm and cold climates during the winter and the summer. And I guess it just figured that it would work good in our climate. Planting the trees, I started by digging the holes, and this is the tree to start off with. This is like the bucket and how big, because my holes had to be twice as big as that. Yeah. And then those are the protectors that I put around the trees to protect the animals from chewing through it. This is me as I got deeper and started digging. Me just getting it rounder so it wasn't so jagged and stuff like that. Me getting the dirt out of the hole so I could put the tree and make sure it was level. Some more pictures of me getting it out of the hole. Then this is me putting the tree in the hole to make sure the hole is big enough. And then this is what they look like now. Links between research fieldwork and final product. My research paper was how it affects a person's well-being and how nature, because the nature around us, I guess, affects mental health, physical health, people in hospitals, stuff like that. I did my field work. Again, I did that out west of the playground. My final product was planting the trees. And then what did I learn? Some academic skills. Researching. I had to go on the South Dakota State Library and find good things that would link to my research paper so I could type it all. And then that was about 6 to 8 pages long. So then I did note cards, source cards, and Miss Nightingale helped me out through that. So some real world skills, time management. I had to work on it even though I didn't want to. Organization. I had to keep all the papers and stuff all together so I could get everything in my binder on time and in the right order. Some self-discipline. Again, I didn't want to do it, but I did it anyways because I guess I had to. So, problem solving. I had to wait for the trees to come in, and that took about 3 or 4 months, and then I had to wait for the weather to warm up because South Dakota, it's cold winters. Some content skills, general knowledge about my topic through research and from my mentor. Again, I didn't know anything about it. Self-reflection, difficulties, and challenges. I had to wait for the trees to come in. And I did solutions, and that was working on the research paper and stuff like that while I had time and while I was waiting for the trees to come in. What I gained from the senior project is don't do anything the last minute. Do it when it's fresh in your mind and when you first get it. What I'm most proud of, how much money I raised. Total hours on my research paper was 16.25 hours. My fieldwork and final product was 15 hours. And the total hours on the entire project was 43.7. Budget page was, my bake sale was 502. And the cost of the trees was $217.50. I plan to donate the remainder of the stuff to the school for landscaping and for stuff around the trees when they get bigger. Last thoughts and reflections, I would totally do this again. And I guess it's for someone else and it helps the school out, so. I want to thank Mr. Evans, my mentor, for helping me out throughout this and ordering the trees for me. White Lake School Board administration for letting me plant these trees on the school premises. Miss Nightingale for helping me throughout the research paper and throughout everything else that she helped me with. And some people who donated to the bake sale. Are there any questions?
I think I could come up with a couple.
Where did you get?
Yeah, that's what I was
Where
gonna
did
say.
you get the trees? Was it through?
It was someplace in Mitchell.
Oh, so you actually went to like Jaden Valley Nursery or someplace
I
like
think
that?
it was James Valley Nursery,
Okay,
so,
I didn't know, like, 'cause sometimes the ag building over.
yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure it was.
Okay.
These are quite large though.
Yeah.
Well, how tall are they?
Well, they grow from.
No, I mean like right now. What did they start at? Were they as tall as it
So they're
looks
about
like?
maybe like a foot, I'd say.
Oh, okay. They
something like
looked a
that.
little bigger than that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought so too.
Might have just been a camera angle.
Yeah, but they,
And then I wanted to ask, even though I kind of know the answer because I was at the school board meeting, but how did you decide on that tree? Other than it grows well in our
Because it
climate?
doesn't take a lot of maintenance and,
Ah.
I guess there's no leaves or anything that fall on the floor and you don't have to rake or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So then.
It doesn't have any fruit or any
No.
seed
So
pods
then we
or
don't have
anything.
any bugs or anything around the tree or
Right.
anything.
Right.
plus being able to survive South Dakota.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah.
Right,
That probably narrowed your choice quite a bit, didn't
Yeah.
it?
And then plus, they didn't want bushes or
Right.
anything, so I
Right.
chose trees instead of.
Right.
mm-hmm. Right.
How long does it take them to get to their 20 to 30 feet, I think you said?
Well, I don't really know that, but I do know that we can take the stakes off after the summer.
Oh, so they'd
Okay.
be sturdy enough to.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Go down to the slope.
Are there any questions? Any more
Do
questions?
you have any more questions? I think I'm good. Nice job.
If not, thank you for your
Yeah,
time.
right. Thank you. How long did it take to dig that dang hole? You just did that with a spade.
Yeah.
I mean, how deep was it and how wide was it?
Well, that pot had to be
Hey, God.
about like that, right?
Yeah, it was about this.
Yeah.
Now,
one of
did
those-
you wet the ground first?
We've had
No.
some nice rain, so.
Did you have to put any extra stuff in the earth, like to, I'm
No,
thinking
I
like
didn't put
just
anything.
dig a hole and put it in?
Yep.
Okay, I didn't know if
There's
there
probably in a pot that big. I
Yeah.
suppose there's stuff already.
Well,
in it.
already in there?
We broke the roots apart a little
Sure.
bit so they could spread.
Mhm.
Right.
But other than that, we didn't do anything to
Wow.
how the trees came.
I'm
Right.
excited to see
Yeah,
how they
me
do.
too. Thank you.
Thank you.
I haven't seen the portfolio yet, so I'll look at that later.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.